So, with Marvel Rivals being out for just about a month and season one officially on the way soon, I thought it'd be fun to talk about characters I really want to see added in this game's lifetime. It's not like, oh, these have to be the next characters or I'm a riot in Revolt. This is just like a fun little MVC4 roster trend with characters I personally want to see, or characters I think could be fun and have like some kind of idea on what could be in their kit. And with that, I'd like to preface, I'm not the craziest with comics. Most of my Marvel experience is cartoons I watched as a kid and whatever video games I played. My only real like reading experience with it is some Spider-Man, X-Men, and a little She-Hulk. And with that, this video might be or it's gonna be split up weird rather, because it's basically gonna be split into two, and that's because
Hmm. We hop up in the ship and move at my speed. X-Men is the squad if you got beef.
yeah, so I totally added a bunch of mutants on my list. I just love the X-Men, dude. They're so cool. All right. And to give some honorable mentions, these are pretty hot ones too. I went with Cyclops and Gambit because in my mind they're locks. I don't see how they wouldn't get into the game. Cyclops was White Boy in 2024 and Gambit was an internet darling, so I don't really see the need to explain why they should be in this game. However, my first pick completely contradicts this thinking.
Oh my god, my Shayla, my Shayla.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hide it. Nightcrawler is my favorite X-Men, and so he's gonna be my first pick. I love Nightcrawler, dude. Just imagine teleporting around with the three swords like that one scene in X-Men 97, you know? And since the designs are, some of them at least, like Psylocke being based off comics like Peach Momoko's, for her specifically, bro, please, please, please give us Pirate Nightcrawler, man. That'd be so hard. And ideally, he'd be a strategist because I think the roles kind of lack in star power. I know Sue's there, or at least coming, and she's cool as shit, but I just love Nightcrawler, man. That's my guy. I love him so much. So yeah, of the bunch, he's my first pick. Super obvious pick with Juggernaut. Like obviously Hank, but it's just a Juggernaut, man. Like how can you not put him in the game? There's so many ways I personally think you could make him unique. Like maybe he's like slower and harder to stun, although movement, like getting back to the point from spawn with a character without much like movement or stuff for mobility kind of sucks. So maybe it's not like the best idea, but it's still something. Also, what I really want to see is that move from the MVC games or X-Men Coda where he rips up the ground and rubble like pulls up in a line. I think that'd be like a fun move. Maybe it pushes enemies back. Or the one where he pulls a pole from the ground and starts beating people with it. Like that'd also be super fun to see. Yeah, I don't wanna. Sorry, this one's also gonna get be as detailed, but just the Juggernaut, man. I don't even like Angel like that, but for some reason I've always had this idea that he could be in this game, and I've been really fixated on it, and it's because of the episode in X-Men Evolutions where Scott and Rogue on Christmas Eve, I believe, go to New York City and they're looking for a mutant, and it turns out to be Angel, and he's like flying around helping kids or whoever they in need at that time. And I thought that like it'd be really cool as a strategist, like maybe he flies, zooms around, or like when he enters a flying mode, he can drop down feathers and whatnot that heal. I think it'd be like a really interesting way to go about it, especially since a lot of healers don't have like good escapability from dive. I know Mantis and Luna have stuns, but it's kind of committing to a fight rather than being able to escape. I don't know, I just really love that idea for some reason with Angel. I never thought he'd be like the one from the main original team that I'd pick, but here we are. I don't know, just I think that'd really work well. So another super MVC inspired pick is Cable, and that's because I feel like Viper Beam as his primary makes sense, and Hyper Viper if you want as his ult also is there. He's also like big and bulky, you know, and that kind of leans into what they've been doing with Tank. I know the leaks about Emma, which I'm super happy about, but still, he kind of fits the mold, and especially like as a ranged option for Tank, which I think is really needed considering how much I feel like a lot of them are up close or close ranged. That he'd be a nice like break of pace and like someone fun enough where like he's a good pocket or like someone who'd always be in play, I guess. We're about to go on a bit of a MVC inspired run, I guess. And that is totally true with Spiral because whether it's Children of the Atom or MVC2, I think Spiral's sick, man. She's so cool. And she's kind of I don't want to like speak on something I don't know and say she's like completely underground, but you don't really see her that often, and I think she'd be a banger duelist. Like imagine all the swords or like the daggers and whatnot she summons with teleports. She'd be like a really fun character. I just really think she's cool, and I've grown to like really like her, and I really want to see her in another game because I know like she showed up in X-Men '97 and X-Men Evolution, but I want to play as her in something else, you know, especially since I like suck as her as in those MVC games. Yeah, so Giddy Pride being in the MVC inspired picks doesn't really make sense. However, the reason she's here is because in my dream world, the ideal society, she's in MVC4, like as a weird side switching mix up character. But going back to Marvel Rivals, I kind of like flip flopped back and forth how like her phasing would work as either support or DPS, and maybe I'm leaning DPS, but she's more of like a blurred line between that and strategist, sort of like Reed is as like the next like hybrid character. I think that'd be fun as like a stealthy like assassin-y character. I feel like she could also really mix up game play, and she's like in the same boat as Spiral where like I want to see her in a game again or in a game period, because to my knowledge I don't think she's been in a game, so I really think it'd be cool if she makes her stamp here in a game popping off like Rival. One really quick side note, maybe I'm the friend right now being too woke, but I feel like when girl characters or the idea of girl characters being added in this game is talked about, people are like quick to shove them in support, and that don't really make sense to me. Like, what is Rogue gonna do in support? That girl built tough, you know. She should be a tank and whatnot, or like Emma. Going back to the league stuff, I don't really want to acknowledge it too much, but Emma, like that makes sense as her as a tank. That's badass. Like I want to see stuff like that. I don't get the idea to like shove them in support always, or like a majority of the time. I think it's kind of weird. Yeah, that's just really weird. All right, so when Luna first got revealed, I couldn't help but feel a little disappointed that she wasn't Dazzler, because I was just coming off reading the comics between her, Wolverine, and Jubilee, I believe. So it was really just Dazzler pilled at that time. But this is not to say I hate Luna or I think Luna sucks. I love Luna Snow. Whoa. You know, I'm a support main in this game, but there's nothing stopping us from having Dazzler too. She could be a tank for all I care, you know? Like she could sing, which makes walls or whatever, or like something like high pitch related and like attacks do more damage or gives a little damage boost to someone. You know, I think she could be in this game and still be way different than Luna. And I would really want to see Dazzler in this game. Alright, so this one I am way in over my head for, and I really can't explain how she'd be the best if nothing but based off vibes, but Mirage would seem so cool at least. Like every time I look stuff up, there's some interesting. Like, what do you mean she's a Valkyrie of Asgard, or at least was one? That's badass. She seems badass, and she could even have like a team up with Magic. You know, the whole New Mutants connection, and she be the anchor while Magic gets something from her. And I don't know, man. She seems real awesome and like an off the beaten path pick, if you will. So yeah, she's gonna round out this section of X-Men. All right, I'm letting the MVC demons back in with this one. She-Hulk. I just wanna like I wanna run around crazy how she does in MVC3, you know, and just pick people up and toss them around or like clothesline them. Make her a grappler. That'd be so awesome. Tank too, you know it. I just want to run in and jump kick somebody. Like, it'd be so awesome to do, man. She looks also just cool. I mean, she also like fits the need of like female vanguards. So yeah, she looks an easy pick for me in this game, and I really hope she would be MVC3 inspired. All right, another pick. I love Daredevil, man. He's so sick. Like, could you imagine in this game, like, falling, dropping off a wall, or like the roof, or like from a height advantage, and just beating somebody's ass down, dude? I don't care if they make it if they make the vision obscured and more lore accurate. Shoot by all means. That's only gonna make me want to play him more. I'm so down for that. Daredevil's such a sick character too as a duelist. I want him in this game. All right, walk with me on this one. See my vision, please. So Silver Sable is a character I've always had a sweet sauce for because I played Ultimate Spider-Man as a little kid, or at least watched people play it, and you know who's in that game? Silver Sable, and I always thought that was the best Spider-Man game until Shattered Dimensions came out. Then I thought that was the best game until Spider-Man 2018 came out. And in common link between all those, Silver Sable's in it, baby. I love Silver Sable, and she could be also a duelist with two like high damage slow firing magnums like dual wielding. That'd be sick. I don't super know how else to like describe her, put her in the game. She's also like a low key character, I think, that I want to see as well. Man, I got a whole lot of love for Silver Sable for some reason, and I want to see her in this game. Alright, could you just imagine hitting someone with the penance there and they just die? Like, that'd be so funny. Like the ultimate tweet, you know, the MVCI super, and it's just his face on the screen. Yeah, I'm all for something silly like that. Ghost Rider, and then like, just let me hop up in a car, like Robbie Reyes, or even the bike. I don't care. But let me just like drive around the point and on walls and just fucking with people. That'd be so awesome. You know, or like the using chains and a flamethrower, like from the mouth. That'd be sick. Ghost Rider, I think there's so much you could do with him that, and I'm doing like surface level stuff, and I'd be super excited to see whatever they could hook up with him. But yeah, I want him, and also I think he should be a tank. That'd be sick as hell. All right, so originally the plan was to do like another cloak and dagger combo character with Ant-Man and the Wasp, but if I'm not mistaken, the Wasp can just do everything he can and more since she can fly and has blasters. So I feel like she just could be her own character and kind of represent the two. And also from what I've seen and heard, people also prefer her to Ant-Man. So no, it's no big deal. I think it'd be fun if she could like fly around, maybe a little faster than the flying characters we do have, and like she could shrink herself down for speed, mobility, escape, whatever, and then like make herself big, and then her ult would be like maybe it works similar to Wanda's, where it's like a slow charge buildup, but instead of like killing everybody, like she shrinks them to an extent, and that makes them weaker or squishier to kill. I think that'd be really cool. So yeah, Wasp. Oh, she'd be a duelist for sure, straight up. And yeah, that'd be my vision for Wasp. I think it's another cool pick. Another one, another. I think it's a popular one too. I saw some concept art of it, but yeah, I'm all for having the Wasp. All right, so for Mandarin, I don't know if this will upset anybody, but the way I'd want him in this game is for him to be based off his counterpart or adaptation in Iron Man Armored Adventures. Like obviously he doesn't have to be a kid, that wouldn't make sense, but make him like melee based with a suit of armor, you know, and like maybe has a passive ability where if he reaches a certain damage threshold, he unlocks a power of the rings or like a buff from the rings, and that can like stack up and up. Or maybe instead of damage, it's kills if that's like too broken. But I think that'd be like a really unique idea as like a self-improving duelist, and that's like how I would implement him into the game, and that's all I really like would want to see. All right, so Sandman's another character I've been infatuated with in this game, I guess, or like obsessed with the idea of him being in it, because I think he'd be a good tank first and foremost, and I know especially on this list, but in the game, villains are like few and far between. So like another one's always welcome, and I feel like there's so much he could do with just like in terms of mobility or attacks because of shape shifting via the sand. That I think it's real worthwhile to put him in this game. Although I may not have a specific like thing in mind besides maybe his ult, which could be or work similar to Jeff's, and instead just kill people on some sand coffin type shit. But yeah, I really want to see Sandman in this game too. All right, for the last pick, I want to go with a bang. You know, a real like popular character, and since they said that like alternate versions of characters would be a character themselves instead of a costume or a skin, I think Spider-Man 29 would be the most fitting for like another Spider-Man character. And don't get me wrong, I love Spider-Man. He's my favorite superhero, but I don't really want or need to see this game get oversaturated with spider people. I think him, Penny, and Peter would probably be more than enough. And I think there's enough. And if you go off of like the Spider-Verse version of 2099 or Miguel, I think there's more than enough to differentiate him. Like, unlike Venom and Peter, he doesn't really need the web swing. He could like do a glide and pounce, sort of like a Hunter from Left 4 Dead. In like maybe he gets shield off that or health, you know. But yeah, a friend floated me this idea, and I've been really into it. It's over my last one. Yeah, I'm gonna go with my guy, Spider-Man 2099. Okay, so to anyone who has even seen this or is seeing this currently, who watched a second, 5, 10, 15 seconds, a minute, 5 minutes, the whole video, whatever, really want to thank you for even using any of that time to watch such a shoddily made video. I'm really appreciative, and there are things I want to do better. Like, I feel like I was editing this, I wanted to have like each character have their own like unique track, but ended up feeling a little bloated with music. And also, I was woefully unprepared for something like this. But I do want to keep trying to make stuff, if nothing else, than for fun. But really, thank you. And whatever happens next, I'll see you there.